Palm Springs. Now, Palm Springs is directed by Max Barbakow and stars Andy Samberg, Cristin Milioti, and J.K. Simmons. And basically, the film follows Cristin Milioti's character who gets sucked into an infinite time loop with Andy Samberg's character. And basically, in this infinite time loop, both of these characters have to relive Cristin Milioti's character's sister's wedding day every single day. But at the same time, though, they also find there's other things that they can do. For example, they keep dying and they keep waking up in the same day because they can't actually die. They just end up waking up in the same day. And at the same time, though, they have a lot of fun in this infinite time loop. And at the same time, though, we also meet J.K. Simmons' character, who's also trapped in this infinite time loop for a reason you may not expect. But at the same time, though, Cristin Milioti's character also realizes that she wants to get out of this infinite time loop before it's too late. So basically, she starts to plan to, but then actually you start to realize that maybe Andy Samberg's character doesn't actually want to get out of this infinite time loop. And as you can imagine, a lot of complications occur there. And that's basically the plot of Palm Springs. And honestly, I think this movie is Groundhog Day 2.0. And that's not a criticism, because I should point out here, I really like Groundhog Day. And that's kind of why I like this film so much, actually, because this film is kind of like a modern day twist on the Groundhog Day story. Like, I'm a huge fan of Groundhog Day. But the thing is, though, in my opinion, the Groundhog Day film is very of its time. And this film almost feels like a modern day twist on the Groundhog Day story, which is kind of why I like it so much. Honestly, I really liked this film, and I had a huge smile on my face for almost the entire film, and I just thought it was an absolutely wonderful film. Honestly, I really did. I thoroughly enjoyed all the performances in the film, particularly Andy Samberg. I just thought he was brilliant. I just thought he played the character so well. He was so believable in the film as well, and I laughed at a lot of these characters in the film. Honestly, Andy Samberg has so much comedic presence in the film, which just works so well. Honestly, I laughed out loud quite a lot at Andy Samberg in this film, in the best way possible, in the way the film wanted me to. And at the same time, though, I also loved the scenes between Andy Samberg's character and J.K. Simmons' character in the film. Honestly, they were so funny to watch. Particularly one scene, we see J.K. Simmons' character actually on drugs with Andy Samberg's character, and that was a really funny scene in the film. And at the same time, though, it's actually quite important in the film, which is another thing I really liked about the film. The fact that the comedy actually moves the plot forward as well, which is something I really didn't expect about the film, which I actually really liked about it. And at the same time, though, Cristin Milioti's character is great in it as well. You know, she's got some great chemistry with Andy Samberg's character. You can really believe that these characters are friends, and you know, it's quite predictable where that's going to go as well. But it's all really enjoyable to watch. I really enjoy watching Cristin Milioti's character in the film, and at the same time, though, I also really enjoyed the scenes between Cristin Milioti's character and Andy Samberg's character as well. I thought they were great. And going back on the topic of J.K. Simmons in the film, he is great. Honestly, I didn't actually know he was in the film, and when he popped up in there, I laughed my head off so many times at J.K. Simmons in the film. Honestly, he's just absolutely brilliant. I love the way that character was used in the film. I did, because at the same time, though, not only is that character probably the most interesting character in the film because of the way J.K. Simmons plays it and the way that character is written, but at the same time, though, that character actually has some heart in the film, which was very unexpected, which I actually really liked about it. Like I said before, I love the scenes between J.K. Simmons' character and Andy Samberg's character. I just thought they were brilliant, particularly like that one scene where they're on drugs. That was just absolutely brilliant and so funny to watch. Honestly, I was laughing out loud throughout, you know, so much of this film. And at the same time, though, I think the film's really well shot. I love the look of the film. It's so wonderful to watch. It really is. And it had a huge smile on my face for most of the film. But I must admit, though, I do have some small criticisms of this film. Some of the ways the plot moved forward are a bit iffy, I'm not going to lie. And some of the tonal changes of the film aren't the best. Like, there'll be stage in the film of Cristin Milioti's character and Andy Samberg's character having quite a lot of fun, and then about 5 minutes later they're having like some really deep and serious argument. It's like, oh, that just quickly happened like that. And at the same time, though, the film is short, and I kind of wanted it to be a bit longer. I kind of wanted it to exist in this world a bit more, and I kind of wanted this film to have a bit more breathing space. Kind of like Groundhog Day does, to be honest. That's one of the reasons I like Groundhog Day so much, because it is so funny in so many stages. But then the thing is about Groundhog Day, that film kind of slows down in a really good way, in my opinion. That you kind of savor everything that's happening in the film so well, and that's why I think Groundhog Day is such a brilliant film, because you know, you kind of exist in that world for 2 hours in that film, and that's what makes it work so well. I just kind of wish this film was a bit longer. I wish we got to exist in this world a bit more. Saying that, though, I still think it's wonderful and everything. I have some small criticism with it. There are some plot holes as well, some quite big plot holes, particularly towards the end of the film. We start to wonder about how is that happening, things like that. And, you know, in the end, it is one of those films which, if you sat down and really, you know, nitpicked every single scene in the film, you could probably notice so many problems with it. But the thing is, though, I enjoyed it for what it was. That's what I'm going to take from this film. It's got its problems, yes, and I could sit here and go on and on about them, but honestly, I just had such a wonderful time watching the film. I really did, and I didn't expect to. Honestly, I wasn't the biggest fan of the opening scene in the film, but then after the opening scene, I went along with it, and I had a huge smile on my face for almost the entirety of the film, and I really, really liked it. And like I said before, it's Groundhog Day 2.0 in the best way possible. It's literally the modern day take on the Groundhog Day story, which is what I liked about it so much, even to the point that they kind of do, in a way, they don't actually explicitly reference it, but they kind of reference the fact that Groundhog Day actually exists in the universe where this film takes place. You once in the film where Cristin Milioti's character realises that she's been sucked into an infinite time loop, and then she asks Andy Samberg's character what's actually going on. He's like, well, it's one of those infinite time loop situations. I'm sure you've heard about them before. Something like that. And honestly, I just laughed my head off for that scene in the film. I just thought it was brilliant. And like I said before, it's such a wonderful film. It's so much fun to watch. I really enjoyed myself. I laughed out loud quite a lot of the film, and I really, really liked it. And so, all in all, I'm going to say that Palm Springs, I'm going to say it's about an 8.5 out of 10. Honestly, I really, really enjoyed this film. I really didn't expect to. It was a really nice, pleasant surprise. And there's been a question on my lips ever since I saw it last night. I mean, I've been thinking about it quite a lot, actually. Is this film better than Groundhog Day? I'd probably say no, but that's not saying this film is bad in any way. Like I said before, I've talked about how much I really like this film, and I really do. But the thing is, though, I'd probably say it's on the same par as Groundhog Day. I really like Groundhog Day. I have a kind of a personal connection to it. I don't really know why I have a personal connection to it, but I do. But the thing is, though, this film did work for me on so many levels. So just because I say it's not as good as Groundhog Day doesn't mean it's bad in any way. Like I said, I like it quite a lot. I think it's really fun to watch. It's really joyful to watch. And you know, it's on Amazon Prime right now. I can't recommend it enough. It was such a treat to watch, in my opinion. I laughed along with it. It's only an hour and a half. It's short but sweet, and in the best way possible. And that's why I like this film so much. Honestly, it's such a wonderful and joyful film that, you know, if you're feeling down, it's one of those films which you should watch and it will make you smile just like that. And so, all in all, I'm going to say that Palm Springs is an 8.5 out of 10 from me. Anyway guys, what do you think of Palm Springs? Please do comment down below and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Anyway guys, thank you as always for watching, and if you haven't yet, please do click down below and like subscribe on this video, and look forward to many more both film and TV to come very, very soon on this channel. See you guys again soon, but bye for now, bye!